Hey friends, Ari Koinuma here. Thanks for tuning in. For today's episode, what I would like to do is to tell you about this one particular exercise that I went through in my experience of being coached to identify 4 core values that is near and dear and central to you and how that would affect you as you consider your career or your activities in life or what you want to do with your life, that sort of thing. So this is more of a general career counseling, what do you want to do with life, that sort of topic, and not specific to like musicians particularly, but I found it really helpful. So let me tell you a little bit about my personal values that I found through this exercise. My 4 core values are create, explore, be a visionary, and express compassion. So, of which the create and explore were kind of obvious, I knew that. And be a visionary too, it made sense. But express compassion was a bit of a surprise. And there is a process built into this exercise that allows you to discover some things that are maybe important to you without you actually realizing it. So that is the value of this exercise. And I knew always that I was I had a high degree of empathy and I could feel other people's feelings as if they were my own and such. I'm kind and tender-hearted and things like that, right? But I did not realize that above all else, expressing my compassion is, on the par with the 3 other values that I knew that I had in me. And that changed how I view my own activities or my career or my vocation. And that is that before, obviously, like for example in my music, a lot of my songs had compassion, but not all, and my YouTube videos too, they were not all about compassion. They were a lot about me going and say, hey, look what I can do, or look what I know, or look that sort of demonstration, like a look at me kind of thing. And it did not fully incorporate how strongly I feel how strongly I have the need to be compassionate. And what happens is that the 4 is not some random number. Like if you want to have a sustainable, consistent sort of a set of activities that you want to do over and over, it is in your best interest to make sure that that activity contains or incorporates all 4 of these values. Because when it does, it's like a magic, like the activity itself has such intrinsic value in them that you stop caring if the activity produces any other outcomes or benefits, like making money or winning you some audience or making you popular or getting you promoted or anything like that, right? You just love the act itself because it's just so you, right? And you don't have any trouble engaging in that activity. You will feel perfectly motivated to wake up every morning and say, wow, yeah, I get to do this, right? That kind of thing. Whereas if the more of those core values are missing, right? One or more of them are missing from the thing that you do, then it will require more and more of your willpower to kind of psych yourself up, or you need to sort of give yourself a carrot or whip, I guess, to motivate yourself to engage in that activity, and that becomes less sustainable on its own. So I really came to believe, I was introduced to this exercise through my coach Tom Walker, but it was originally designed by Thomas Leonard, who wrote this book called The Portable Coach. And what the exercise entails is that it's by reading this list of 180 words that characterize represents a value. And whatever it means to you, there's no judgment, right? Whatever that word means to you is totally up to you. You don't have to sort of figure out, whether this word really means this or that. I mean, you can totally make that up. But just the idea is to you sort of sit and listen to these words, and then you jot down, whichever one strikes you immediately without thinking about it, going, oh yeah, that's me, right? And then you write it down. And then after you write it down, you want to sort of compare them and go, yeah, this word is more me than that one, right? This word is more me than that one. That one is me, but it's not as important as that one. You kind of whittle the list down to about 10 or dozen or so. And then what you want to do is you write them down in sort of note cards, just one per card. And then you want to carry it around on you, physically on your body, for the next week to 10 days. And once a day or so, you pull out your cards and you look at it and go, okay, I'm feeling like this one is more me and compared to that one. There could be like some similar words that are in there, and then you're like, yeah, but I would rather use this word than that word, to describe who I am, that sort of thing. And then you kind of keep going with that until you come up with 4 core values. No more, no less. And then that will represent your core values. And I can tell you, I did this about 5 years ago now, and it has stayed with me, it hasn't changed. I'm sure it's possible in the long run, especially if you do this when you're still relatively young, like in your 20s or in your teens, that could still change. But the idea is that once you identify core values, it probably won't change very often. And that will help you in terms of figuring out, okay, does this activity incorporate all 4 values? So how can I approach this work while incorporating all 4 of my values? That sort of thing. So I am going to read all 180 words to you if you're interested in engaging this exercise. So go get some note cards and get into a quiet place where you're not going to be interrupted, and you can engage in this activity. That is going to take some time. So if you're not interested in actually doing the activity itself, feel free to stop here. But if you want to try this exercise with me, then get ready, and we'll start in just a moment. A couple other things. If you hear a word or phrase that you think is close, but you would rather rephrase it a certain way, feel free to do that. And then afterward, after all 180 of them, if you feel like the word that is important to you but was not on the list, feel free to add that to the pile as well. So there's a lot of flexibility here. Again, the important thing is to not think, and then just let your heart lead in this case, and just react quickly without judgment. Alright, so if you're ready, I am going to slowly read through all 180 words. It is important that you listen and you write down the words that makes you immediately go, oh, that's me, right? The reason why it's important to listen and not just read and try to pick it out is because reading and picking out is very much a logic-based activity, and we are looking for something that resonates with your heart. It's important that you don't think about it, that you don't judge, you whatever these words mean to you. If it makes your heart go, oh, that's me, then write it down, okay? And it is important that you are not interrupted, and that you're in relatively good frame of mind. If you're really tired, or if you're really crabby or whatever, might not want to do this. You want to be in a decent mood, and you're in a quiet, uninterruptible place so that you can go through this in one sitting. Alright, are you ready? Okay, here we go. Approved, included, respected, permitted, popular, sanctioned, cool, allowed, tolerated, achieve, fulfill, realize, reach, profit, attain, yield, consummate, win, worthy, praised, honored, flattered, complimented, prized, appreciated, valued, thanked, liked, cherished, esteemed, held fondly, desired, preferred, relished, adored, touched, correct, not mistaken, honest, morally right, deferred to, confirmed, advocated, encouraged, understood, get attention, helped, cared about, saved, attended to, treasured, treated with tenderness, given gifts, embraced, clarity, accuracy, assurance, obviousness, guarantees, promises, commitments, exactness, precision, luxury, opulence, excess, prosperity, indulgence, abundance, not work, taken care of, served, be heard, tell stories, make a point, share, talk, be listened to, comment, be informed, advice, dominate, command, restrain, manage, correct others, be obeyed, not be ignored, keep status quo, restrict, improve others, be a critical link, be useful, be craved, please others, affect others, give, be important, be material, be obligated, do the right thing, follow, obey, have a task, satisfy others, prove self, be devoted, have a cause, unrestricted, privileged, immune, independent, autonomous, sovereign, not obligated, self-reliant, liberated, forthrightness, uprightness, truthfulness, sincerity, loyalty, frankness, non-scheming, directness, candor, perfection, symmetry, consistency, sequentiality, checklists, unvarying, rightness, literalness, regulated, quietness, calmness, unity, reconciliation, stillness, balance, agreement, respite, steadiness, authority, capacity, results, omnipotence, strength, might, stamina, prerogative, influence. Be noticed, be remembered, be known for, well regarded, given credit, acclaimed, heeded, seen, celebrated, secure, protected, stable, fully informed, deliberate, vigilant, cautious, alert, guarded, career, performance, vocation, determination, initiative, tasks, responsibility, industriousness, busyness. Alright, so I'm sure you jot down a number of words that resonated with you when you just heard it the first time immediately. So look at your list and again, whittle them down to a manageable size. I'm not going to name a specific number, but 10, 15, somewhere in there, right? And then write them down on note cards and then carry it around and then sort of evaluate them daily until you're left with the 4 most important must-have, cannot live without values. And if you do this exercise, I'd love to know what they are. Why don't you, if you feel comfortable to, why don't you let me know in the comments, what the 4 exercises ended up, 4 values ended up being, right? And it will be fun to hear you use that to evaluate, see if there's any ahas or surprises and see how it applies to the things that you do in your day-to-day life or in your work or in your job. And, what makes you think about that, I would love to hear. So let me know in the comments. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.